Once again, I welcome my semi-candidates. It will be like this next year when you are warming up for your final examinations, PLE. So during the lockdown, we want to encourage you to learn, to pay attention, because you find some of you, no one is supervising you. Our parents have gone to work and you are home alone. So take your initiative. It's your initiative to settle down and learn. Don't say, Mommy is not around, Dad is not around. Okay, I am online. You put on the gadget, for you go and watch TV. Then you come back and you write the activity. No, just be self-driven, do this work with love, and everything will go on well. Remember, when you come back, we shall give you tests and examinations to see have you been following, or you have been just enjoying teachers on your screen and you go away. Okay, I left you with an activity, and we have to first go through the activity, then we see what will happen today. I am Waiswa Saddam, and I want to request everyone there to read together and we get the correct responses. Question number 1. Which was the only trade empire formed in East Africa? Yes, Zenji Empire. It was the only trade empire that was formed in East Africa. Question number 2. We are reading together. Why did the Arabs call the coast of East Africa Zenji? The coast of East Africa was occupied by blacks or black people. Okay? Question number 3, who was the founder of Zenji Empire? Yes, Hassan bin Ali was the founder. And apart from Hassan bin Ali, we had also had other great rulers of this empire. The likes of Said, who is well remembered for having transferred his capital from Muscat to Zanzibar in East Africa. Question number 4. What title was given to the leaders of the Zenji Empire? Sultan. Last, give a reason why Said transferred his capital to Zanzibar. 1, it had fresh water. It was very easy to protect and defend. They have someone who has passed everything. Now you have to say, Isha! You are my hero, okay? Now, if you didn't pass everything, I am giving you an opportunity today. Today, pay attention, be a good boy, be a good girl, follow what the teacher is going to say, and you are going to see a miracle. And you are going to pass everything. And even in PLE, you will pass everything. Now, what do we have today? Oh, we are now leaving the political organization. Remember, we said you have to look at the political, social, and economic organization of the pre-colonial societies of East Africa. So now we have put aside the political organization. And I want to remind you, we said that political organization refers to the way how people rule themselves. So how did those people rule themselves before the coming of the white man? 1, they formed kingdoms, they formed clans, they formed empires, they had principalities, they had chiefdoms, and so on. So we went ahead and we looked at different kingdoms, the chiefdoms, and even the empires. Now, we are switching to the social organization. So today, we are going to see how these people were socially organized. Do you understand when I say social? Someone has added the media. Okay, when I say social media, what comes to your mind? Internet. Okay. Social media is that way of communicating to many people at the same time. Okay? You communicate to many, you are able to connect to friends, it connects people, it puts people together. That's why it is social media. You find people connected on social media. So now here, with the social organization, it's about how people were related to one another. the connections between people. So we want to see how were these people related to one another. And that's what we are going to have today. This lesson, you have to be very, very attentive if you want to pick something, to go with something home. Now, what do we mean by social organization? This is the way people live and relate with one another. How do you live and relate with your neighbors? How do you live and relate with the other community members? We want to see how were these people living and relating with one another. Together? How were people related during the pre-colonial societies or pre-colonial East Africa? Oh, I want also to say that this social organization can also mean the languages spoken by people, the food, the religion, the education, and the beliefs. So we want to see, did these people who were in East Africa, did they believe? Did they have beliefs? How were they connected to languages, to the food, to the religion, to the education? Were they going to school like the way you do today? Now, all of that in this one package. So friends, how different societies organized themselves socially? How were these people related to one another in our societies, in our communities? Now, the first one is people believed in ancestral spirits and powers to punish and bless their relatives. These people believed in ancestral spirits. They believed in their ancestors, and they knew that they had the powers to punish or bless their relatives. So they had to respect them a lot. They would even offer sacrifices to the dead, because they knew these people could bless or punish them. So when someone maybe was suffering, would say, maybe there's something I did wrong to my ancestors. So they had to go and apologize to the graves, to sacrifice animals and birds to their ancestral spirits. So one, we need to know that people believed in ancestral spirits and powers to punish or bless their relatives. Two, they offered sacrifices at sacred places and shrines to bring peace. When I say sacred places, I refer places that are connected to God. Like today, the sacred places we have, the mosques, the temples, the churches. So even these people had to offer sacrifices at such places, okay, to bring peace. So every time they had maybe something that they could call misfortunes, like now we have coronavirus, those people would say there's something wrong. What would they do? They would go and offer sacrifices at sacred places and shrines to bring peace in their societies. What else did these people do? Remember we are looking at the way how people were related, the way how people were living in their societies. This is what we call the social organization, the way people live and relate in their societies. So we also have, they had what we call informal education. Informal education was passed through stories, proverbs, and riddles, even music, even rhymes. So they also had traditional education, or that you can call informal education. And in this education, they never had mathematics, English, science. They would they would handle the discipline, the basics, the discipline, the religion, cooking, hunting, like that. Those are the things they would teach. They would teach skills and behavior, basically. So informal education was passed on through stories, proverbs, music, riddles, and the elders, the parents were the teacher by that time. We never had Mr. Waiswa Saddam. We had the elders in the communities, the leaders, and our parents with the teachers. And lessons would take place mainly at night and at the fireplace. Okay? They would collect children, but according to their age brackets. For example, people between 15, the teens, they would be together. Also, they would collect 6 to 10 years. Okay, 8 to 10, they would be together. They also come and call 18 to 24, and they would teach what you needed at different ages. So informal education was passed on through stories, music, riddles, proverbs, and rhymes. They also had clan bases, and this was the basic. They formed clans. So people were related to by clans. For example, you would not be allowed to marry within the same clan. They say if your clan is maybe a cow, you have to go and marry from another clan. Let's say the grasshoppers. Baganda do understand this. Even other communities have clans, but why am I using Baganda? We are staying in Uganda, okay? So you hear of different clans, like Mbogo clan, Nsenene, Nyonyi-Nyange, the likes. Are we there? So you would not marry in your own clan. So you would go and look for someone to marry from another clan. Are we there? And that would also bring about peace. Because when someone married from another clan, will be able to respect those people as their in-laws. Are we there? Now, they also had age groups, as I've told you. They had taboos. There are things that had to forbid them from doing some other stuff. For example, they would not allow people to eat their totems. You don't eat your totem. You know what we mean by a totem? Any object, animal, plant respected by a particular society. So we would not eat our totems. And what was behind that taboo? It was just to preserve these things. Because imagine if that taboo was not there. People would be eating everything, and now you would not have the several animals and plants. They would be extinct. So now they had taboos in their societies. Also, people believed in a creator, God, but they expressed their beliefs in different ways and gave him different names. For example, where I come from, people believed in God, and they had several names they would give. Even now, the creator, the main God, we call him different names. Like when you are in Uganda, you will say Katonda, and you are referring to the creator. When you go someplace, you will find that he is called Ruhanga, and it's also God. When you go where I come from, you will find people calling him Chibumba. But now this is the modern names for the mighty. But before that, different societies believed in God, and they would give him different names, the likes of Musoke, Narubale, Mukasa. All of those names were given to show that God exists. So these people in the communities believed in a creator, God, but they expressed their beliefs in different ways and gave him different names. How do you call God in your language? Apart from God the creator, do you have another God? Do you have the small God? What name do you give to him? Now, in the modern society, we believe in the mate creator. That's God. Can call him Katonda. He also has very many other names in your different languages. But I encourage you to believe in him because he is the creator. Are we there? He is our creator, the creator of the universe. Now, it is also important to note that during that time, even today, children belong to the clans of their of their male parents, of their fathers. So now here women would not have a lot of say like it is today. Today when you say that this daughter or this son is mine, it sounds weird. A female parent will say, what did you say? Is yours or is ours? So today we say children are ours. But traditionally, the children belong to the clans of their fathers. And you could not question about it. When you are born, you have to bear the name from the side of your male parent. And I think it is also it is still on, though some people violate it, which has no problem, as long as you are living in harmony and peace. Okay, my friends, it is also important to note that we have the children belong to the clans of their parents. We are done with that. And I can show you some of the social organizations that we have been talking about. Now, this was a clan system. You can see a group of elders together. Maybe they are going to have a meeting, or they have a meeting to discuss for their community or for their society. They are planning, what should we do for our children? What should we do for this? What should we do for this? So that we can have harmony. Clans were the main social organization of pre-colonial societies. Then we also have people played games. People would come together and play games like the local chess, that is locally known as Mweso or Mweso game. How many of you have seen this kind of game? You can see this board here. There are some seeds that they are using to play. And this is Mweso or Mweso game. So people came together to relate, to play games. And that was a social gathering. Okay? These people also went ahead to have social activities like child naming, circumcision, burial functions, and so many others. All of those were social organizations of pre-colonial society. Someone is saying this one is the winner. We shall get the results when I come back. Now, we also have people worshipped their gods. You can see my friends here. They are all possessed. They have gone to worship. They are singing, praising, and worshiping songs. Do you know anyone worship song? Please go ahead to sing for that person who is next to you. I'm also listening, don't worry. So people worshipped what we are doing. Even people in pre-colonial societies did it. So Africans knew God even before the coming or the spread of Christianity, Islam, Baha'i faith, and so many others. Are we there? So we had our religion, the African traditional religion, ATR, whereby we knew that God exists or existed, and we would just differ in the way we would worship and the names we would give him. Okay? So my friends, as we come to the end, we also have to talk about education. The education simply means the process of acquiring new knowledge and skills. When you learn something like now, you are acquiring knowledge, maybe, and skills, and that is education. And the traditional education was called informal or traditional education. The education of pre-colonial societies in East Africa was known as traditional education or informal education. As I talk now, we have mainly two types of education, formal and informal or traditional. Though we also have some others like someone going to mention, but they are basically two, formal and informal. Now, a long time ago, we only had informal or traditional education, whereby people were taught different skills, mainly different skills like hunting, Now, which group of sex do you think were trained hunting? Girls or boys? Obviously the boys, because boys had to go and hunt, get what to eat. Are we there? So hunting was taught to boys, building, boys, iron smelting, boys. Now girls are saying, what about girls? Games, then cooking, looking after the babies, looking after children, sweeping the compound. Those were taught to girls, okay? Because they were preparing the future mothers or the future parents. This education was very good. It could take place sometimes at night and at the fireplace. Are we there? Now, how was this education passed on? Through songs, stories, myths, legends, etc., etc. How do you get education today? Through what? Through stories, yeah? Through stories, through riddles, through songs, and etc. Now, note, elders, parents, leaders provided the traditional education at the fireplaces. Now here, education, you have to go to school. First of all, you have to do examinations, and you have to be taught by teachers. But long time ago, we had elders, any person in the community. Our elders would come and teach. Then the parents and the leaders. For importance, how was this education important? One, it taught vocational skills. You would learn when you are learning. I mean when you are touching something and doing it practically. This is what we call vocational skills. So also children learned proper behavior and manners. You would not find children who can even abuse others during that time, because everyone was equally responsible for the children in the societies. Whether you just find a man on the way, if that person finds you fighting, becomes your biological parent or your father, and is going to punish you immediately. But these days, things have changed, and that's why you see the discipline of children and even adults is very, very low. Why? We no longer do community work. Long time ago, children were for communities. These days, when you tell someone, please don't do that, reports you home, and you'll find yourself in cells, in the police cell. So now, the children learned proper behavior and manners, and by the whole community. Culture was preserved, and lastly, children learned their history through stories. Those children knew their stories, their background. By now, today, someone cannot even mention the name of his or her great-grandparents. So what's the name of your grandfather? Begins to scratch the head. I don't remember, can you imagine? But here, children learned their history through stories, and it was such a beautiful kind of learning. And my friends, allow me bring my lesson to an end. But before, we have been discussing social organization of people in pre-colonial East Africa or society, where we give ways how people were living and relating. There are very many ways. We have just given a very, very many ways. So my friends, I want to say thank you for being good learners. Make sure you write this work very well in the best handwriting. And when we meet next year in Primary 7, we shall be sharing such stories, the experience, the Corona experience. Are we there? Where you are learning from home. We shall be sharing such stories. So see me as I see you the next lesson.